The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. When the Magi had departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, "Rise, take the child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I tell you. Herod is going to search for the child to destroy him." Joseph rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt. He stayed there until the death of Herod, that what the Lord had said through the prophet might be fulfilled. "Out of Egypt I called my son." When Herod realized that he had been deceived by the Magi, he became furious. He ordered the massacre of all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity, 2 years old and under, in accordance with the time he had ascertained from the Magi. Then was fulfilled what had been said through Jeremiah the prophet. A voice was heard in Ramah, sobbing and loud lamentation, Rachel weeping for her children, and she would not be consoled, since they were no more. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Basically, the slaughter continues. This is a launching point for a lot of homilies, I think, and words about abortion. And that's all very true. But the real point of this feast and this event of Herod's massacre of the infants is it goes much broader and much deeper than that. In fact, it goes into the life and attitude of each one of us. We cannot point the finger at others and say, "See, you're guilty of such and so," because each one of us has our own way of putting to death those who are inconvenient. It may just be in our own minds that we're putting them to death. But our society has many ways of putting to death those who are inconvenient. Politically, socially, economically, whatever. We may starve them. We may lock them into poverty. Just read or saw a report last night on PBS about the alarming infant mortality rate in the United States. We rank something like 35th of developed, prosperous countries in our mortality rate of infants. Why? Well, there really is only one reason, and it is an economic one and a social one. It's the poor classes, it's the minority races that have the high mortality rate in the United States among infants, and let's face it, among others. So whatever our political leanings may be, we do need, and whatever our religious leanings may be, we do need to pay close attention to the people that we kind of exclude from our care. And are we, in effect, killing them? Are we, in effect, leading them to death by our ignoring of them? So there's a message here for all of us. We all have the tendency to exclude, to put out of our lives those whom we find inconvenient, those whom we find not really worth our attention, those who may be hidden from us but waiting for us to discover them and to care for them. So let's use this particular feast and let's pray to the Holy Innocents, really, that we may see a mirror of our own attitudes, our own exclusions, our own ways that we have of putting those who are inconvenient in some way, putting them to death.